PeterVanstrom. I met Peter many campaigns ago as a volunteer, and he was a businessman, a dentist, a family man, dedicated to Roswell and making it better. And he had great ideas, and I remember thinking, I wish he would run. And here we are, he is running. And it's time that we, the people of Roswell, have a vision that we can support and the leadership that will make it happen. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Roswell's next City Council person, PeterVanstrom.
Thank you very much. It's so humbling. It's so humbling to show up late to my own event and have all you people here. We're going to have such a great team. If we can get the message going, it's going to be an outstanding election. So I'm very, very excited about that. I want to apologize for being late. And it kind of fits into the campaign a little bit. I flew Delta back on an early flight. I had a 6:15 out of LA, which means I was up at 3. And I had a funeral that I had to attend yesterday. And it was a funeral of one of my mentors, a great man who touched many lives. He's somebody that I want to emulate so much. He'd be proud of me standing up here right now. And I went to the funeral, and it was a wonderful, wonderful day with the family and all the friends. And then I couldn't quite catch the red eye, so I was stuck with the 6:15. So I had a 2-hour window. I thought we'd make it, but the pilot came on at about 6:30 and said, "We have a problem, and we're going to be a little delayed." No explanation. And he comes back in about 40 minutes, and he says, "We're going to be delayed a little more," and you see about 6 mechanics coming and going up to the cockpit. I'm not feeling real good about this. So finally, he comes out at about 8 o'clock, and he comes out to the people that's sitting out in the seats, and he says, "You know what?" He goes, "This just had to happen to me. I'm on vacation. This is my last flight back to Atlanta, and I got 2 weeks off. This timing is just terrible. And it's all because of a little switch that isn't working." Now, it struck me when he said that, a 2.5-hour delay, that he was being too honest. He should have said something like the plane's left engine had fallen off, and it was the fault of the other regime, and blame it on them. His honesty struck me, though, because I was coming on my way to speak with you guys, and one of the things that people tell me is that I'm too honest to be a politician. And I think that is a bit true. I'm a businessman. I'm not a politician. I never want to be a politician. I just want to do good things for Roswell. And I will be honest. And some of my folks that are working with me get mad at me, but I'm going to be honest. Sorry. Well, I'll tell you what. I haven't announced myself formally. I'm PeterVanstrom, and I am so happy to be running for Post 4 Roswell City Council. People ask you right away, "Why are you running?" And it's a real simple answer. The answer is because I think Roswell can do better. I think we hear that in a lot of elections, and I hope that I convey that I have the enthusiasm and the hard work ethic that we're going to make an impact. Because Roswell can do better. We have a status quo right now that I think we need to interrupt, and I want to be a part of what makes that happen. Why I'm running is interesting. I think about why I do get involved in volunteer work just like you folks. I've been on this side over here where a number of people speaking over the years that we've supported for office, and the enthusiasm we have for our Roswell. It goes back, I think, if you look at my history and what I've been involved in. I came from Los Angeles to go to Emory Dental School. And in 1984, I entered Emory with a dual degree for an MBA and a DDS in a 5-year program. I was really excited to be coming to Atlanta. My wife was transferred with IBM as a marketing rep. We got to Atlanta, and about 4 months into my freshman year, they announced that they were going to close the dental school. And the class of 1988, which was our freshman class, was to be the last class. Well, instead of burying my head like an ostrich, I decided to get involved. It's just innate. I want to be in the process. I want to be making an impact. So I ran for student body president. I was elected. I was served as a vice president for 1 year and then a president for the next year. And I was really, really excited that I could bring together so many different people. I had to work with the ADA. I had to work with the dean. I had to work with the students to reassure them. I had to work with the alumni, who were kind of mixed on the emotion of closing the dental school. And bridging all those gaps, I learned a lot about negotiation and keeping people happy. And the bottom line was, we graduated in 1988 with the academic standards just as high as when we matriculated in '84. So it was a wonderful, wonderful education, and it worked out. Now, if I jump back a little further, we can go back to 3rd grade. 3rd grade, I had a crush on this girl named Susie. And I decided that I was going to petition for longer recesses to impress her. But no, seriously, that didn't go very far. What I did though next was, another issue came up in the environment where I was working. I work in the North Lake area. A lot of you, it's fun to talk to you because a lot of you used to live over in that area in the 70s and the 80s, in the Tucker area, the North Lake area, inside 285 off La Vista. And I hear great stories of the fun times when the mall was vibrant and the restaurants were hopping. Well, things over there started slowing down. And it's always been a great place for me business-wise, but it was frustrating to see the businesses starting to teeter, office space starting to vacate. And this was back when Vernon Jones was a Democrat. And he was in office as the CEO of DeKalb County. And so what we did is we got residents together and business partnerships together, and we decided, hey, we're going to have to do something to stabilize things here. We're going to have to do something to keep business here, and then we're going to have to do something to attract more business. And we worked hard as a revitalization organization that I jumped in, and I was vice chair for a year and chairman for 2 years. And what really worked out nicely is all of the enhancement we did to the areas with streetscapes and improvements, and we did an overlay district, and things went really, really well. Now, later on, it's probably 10 years or so, Vernon Jones is a Republican, and we now have Emory coming into that dilapidated mall and taking over a big chunk of it and putting in a really modern development of office complex for their business and marketing administration with 600 people. So it's exciting when you put your head down and you just keep pacing and pacing and things turn out. So that's kind of the background of things I've been involved in that I just jump in. And right now I feel like we're at a crossroads. I know you guys feel it. I know you do, or you wouldn't be here today. You're getting frustrated that things aren't moving forward. We're at a crossroads where there's the status quo, and then there's some exciting new bold visions that we want to bring forward. And we've got those two paths, and that's what we're going to talk about today. What I'd like to do first, though, is step back and just tell you a little bit more about myself. I moved from East Cobb to Roswell. Yes, I said that correctly, from East Cobb to Roswell. Because we wanted to live along the river corridor. It's so beautiful. And we really loved the history and the culture in Roswell as we looked at the town, and we thought it would be a great place to raise a family. My wife Betty and I have lived in the same neighborhood in Inverness for almost those same 30 years. And we had two girls that went to the public schools here in Roswell, and they both got successful careers and doing really well in the real world, as we call it. And we live in Roswell for the same reason all of you do. I bet you could answer this question. Why do you live in Roswell? Because of the small town feel, the wonderful culture, the history, the incredible sense of community. That's my favorite part. We have such wonderful neighborhoods, and the community is such a wonderful thing to be a part of. You know, Alta Tennis alone makes it so fun because you get to meet all your other neighbors. That's a lot of fun. Swim meets, you get to go out and meet a lot of neighbors. So I really enjoy the neighborhood aspect of Roswell a lot, and I really want to preserve that as we grow the business corridors. So my wife and I were busy in Inverness doing the usual activities. And the one that I enjoyed the most that I have to share with you, because you'll appreciate it if your kids, how many of your kids were on swim team? Neighborhood swim team. Anybody had a kid on neighborhood swim team, right? So, my kids were on swim team, so I volunteered to be the announcer. And I had so much fun. I had the kids bring jokes every week, to entertain the parents, because if you sat through those meets with the storm delays and the amazing number of heats, it was a long night. So we broke it up with nice jokes. And my other favorite thing that I did as the swim announcer, just great neighborhood fun. The little 6-year-olds would get up on the blocks and they would stand there ready to swim, and I would say, these men have so much commitment, they have shaved their bodies so they can be the fastest in the pool. That's just an example of how fun it is to live in Roswell. I really enjoy it. And I went from swim team announcer to HOA board member in Inverness, and I've been on the 2040 comprehensive plan, which was very enlightening. I learned an awful lot doing that, and I had a lot of folks that were working on that planning committee with me, and they were just wonderful folks. I guess I can't use past tense, it's still evolving. And I've also served on the Roswell City Planning Commission, so a little bit of experience. And I've also been a dentist, as I mentioned, for 30 years. It goes fast. And I have a successful small business of cosmetic and implant dental practice, and I enjoy that. And I mentioned the dental practice again because I see an awful lot of cavities. I'm a dentist. And as volunteer in the city, I see a lot of cavities in the city. There's some things that just are stalling out, that aren't moving along, and it's frustrating for all of us. There's promises that are made that just aren't happening. And we just need to get one more big election in, and we can start moving these things forward. So I'm excited to be a part of that. Well, I can't believe I'm standing in front of you this year for the election, because this is such a crossroads. I'm thrilled to be running. I am absolutely thrilled, because the voters are going to have two distinct choices. And we're going to make history in Roswell, or we're going to stay the same. The choice is status quo. Keep everything the same. That's fine. There have been promises made by my opponent, and her voting record suggests that she supports the status quo. There's another path. It's an exciting path. It's a path that fires me up. It's a reason I'm running for Roswell City Council. It's a path that is going to take us to a bold new vision for Roswell. A bold new vision that puts the residents of Roswell first. A bold new vision that assures that future generations will have the same opportunity for the quality of life that we're experiencing. And I think that's what's so important to all of us. It's what are we going to leave behind? The way it's going, it's not what we want to leave behind, is it? So we want to really step up our game. Well, the way that we're going to promote our bold new vision is to make it your vision. And when we make that your vision and we start bringing your vision forward, we're going to have no more standalone, urbanizing, high-density apartments built in Roswell. The east side of Roswell, the ratio on that side of town is an abomination between resident and home ownership. And I want to work very hard bringing home ownership back to the east side. It's just so imbalanced, and I really, really want to make that a priority in my campaign and in my actions on city council. My opponent, as we know, voted for more apartments in the Target and East Village area. And I don't understand 350 more apartments when next door there's already 1,000 and 1,000 the other direction. It doesn't make sense. We need to be more creative. That's the bottom line. We're not creative enough in our approach. We just roll over. I see it on council. Some of these council members just vote and they go, well, the developer told us that that's the only way he can do it and that's the only way he can make money. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Well, as we take forward your vision, we're going to have solutions to prevent the stalled out projects that are going on in Roswell. It's not easy, folks, but we're going to have to work hard and find a way to move those projects forward. Oxbow, the Sun Valley Apartments on Highway 9, the Parkside development that's on the east side of Roswell that's stagnant. We've got to get those moving, and then we've got to have rules in place to make sure that they can't stall out. So we're going to work very hard on that. We also have a vision to protect our neighborhoods. We want to protect and promote our historic district as well as our family-friendly neighborhoods. They're the jewels of Roswell. And what I mean by protect them, I want to make sure that we have neighborhood-serving nodes as transitional buffers between the neighborhoods and the business district. A good example of that is the committee I worked with at Inverness years ago. We were a neighborhood grassroots organization, and we saw that there was a development that was coming at our gateway area at 120 and Willio. So we got together and we talked about it, and we wanted to make sure that it was a lower scale in density, that it was friendly to the neighborhood. And it became a very nice neighborhood serving area with small businesses that can help the neighbors in what we need, and the transition is not dramatic until you get more towards the business section. So it protects our gateway in a way, and I think I'd like to see that a lot more around Roswell. It's a buffer, and it's wonderful. And by the way, if you're an entrepreneur, we need a coffee shop, sandwich shop in that location. So that's just a pitch. All right, and when we move our vision forward, there's another aspect. We want to stimulate smart business growth. We want to get red tape, cut red tape at City Hall, and we want to make sure that we have smart business growth and opportunities. And by smart, I mean we don't want to outpace our infrastructure. We want to grow in the business corridor. We don't want apartments as the solution. We want business as a solution. And we want to make sure that it's residential serving as much as possible. And residential serving could simply be that there's less traffic and it's a business campus that's going to be a wonderful adjunct and help with the tax base. That's resident serving. So what I want to see is I want to see us stimulate that growth, but I want to make sure that we do it at a street level review. Right now we have a lot of plans. By the way, you could call Roswell Plansville. You really could, because we have so many plans that are collecting dust. We have economic revitalization plans, we have transportation plans, we have east side plans, west side plans, river plans. We have so many plans and so many wonderful volunteers that put in hour after hour to create these. The East Roswell Revitalization Plan is fresh. It's fresh and it's already starting to collect dust. And I vow that I'm going to work hard with East Roswell to bring that plan to life. There's some great things in there, and what we tend to do is we complete the plan, we collect dust, and we come up with a different idea, and we don't move forward. So we're going to focus on the plans we have, because those plans are your vision, and they're the blueprint for the direction that we need to head. We just have to start moving in that direction. Well, we also want to take on traffic. We want to proactively tackle our traffic issues. And that's not easy. You know, I wonder why we want urbanization so dense. Some people want urbanization so dense when they turn around and complain about traffic in the next breath. Let's be smart about our development, and let's also address our traffic. We need to make sure that our main arterials are flowing better. Those are going to be cut-throughs from town to town. We cut through other people's towns. Those are the main arterials. And for us to get from east to west, we need to use Holcomb Bridge. So we need technology. There's some wonderful things coming out for traffic timing, by the way. Not just the simple sensors on the lights. There's going to be sensors in our cars. And we need to be on the cutting edge here in Roswell with that. We need to be a test center for that and be aggressive in that market. I think it would be wonderful for us. Traffic on the secondary roads and the tertiary roads is a concern. We need to make sure that people are not encouraged to use those as cut-throughs. And we also need to make sure that we're working hard on our connectivity of our bikeways and our walk sidewalks. We want to connect the parks with the residence areas. We want to connect the business areas with the residence areas and the parks, and so that we don't have to use our cars as much. We've got a great spoke and wheel plan. Surprise, another plan. It's a great plan. We just need to really start implementing that. And the council members who are here today, I can tell you, Zapata and Palermo have both worked hard to start a lot of what I've just been talking about. And I'm proud of them. I backed them for election. I'm proud of what they're doing. And I'm proud to be joining them soon. Because what you folks need in Roswell is you need a leader in city council who's bold, who has initiative, and who will follow through for the things that we need to get done. And I'm that leader. We can do better, We can do better with your vision. I can't wait to mingle and meet some of you that I haven't yet met and say hi to those that I haven't got a chance to say hi to. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is going to be a great campaign. I'm excited as can be. Thanks.